Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Welcome back once again to another daily crypto live stream. We are seeing a lot of red, a lot of dumping, a lot of liquidations happening in the market today, a lot of headwinds. Unideal, of course. It seems to be mainly driven by, again, this tariff drama that has not settled in the slightest. We are hearing some reports from Trump's administration, like Scott Bessent, saying a trade deal's being negotiated, but nothing is by any means confirmed, and we're seeing a lot more fighting talk between Trump and between Xi Jinping. We'll get to those sources in a moment, but we have got some other news to get through in this stream today in regards to positive developments for crypto, interviews from the likes of the IMF, and others talking about the next stage and where we're going in crypto, which is reassuring stuff. We've got some other updates like Zbec, for example, should be very, very short. I just made a video on that. But the very short updates for Zbec regarding the listings and ultimately what we're seeing right now, the price is expected. And then we got quite a lot of Casper updates for today's stream regarding DII, Desert Energy, so the KII, as per requested, information regarding Kasper Finance, KFC, and much more. So as always, family, if you enjoy the content, I'd be trying to do this stuff every single day. Leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more, and turn on that post notification bell so you are always aware, or hopefully as YouTube reminds you, of when I am going to be going live. That being said, family, welcome back again to the channel, to the stream, to the family. Greg, first brother, welcome back, my man. Let's go indeed. Dimitar, there you are, brother, welcome back again. Future Crypto Elite is here as always. Your videos help us out a lot. I appreciate it. That's the goal of them. Again, not financial advice, but purely educational content to give you a better idea of what the project's about, what's going on in the space, and hopefully give you the better hindsight to invest at your own discretion. So I'm glad it helps help out. Again, if you want more insights, you can be part of the Discord server. You can learn a lot more in there as well, because it's not just me teaching or me informing. It's everybody with their own insights, who have their own expertise and own knowledge, who, people in there have shared a lot of insightful information that I've learned from. So you can learn a lot more in the free Discord server as well. The link to join that is down below in the description, or also on my homepage right here as well. New England Babes, welcome back, bro. Asta and Kappa Baby, welcome back, my man. Who's doing very, very well. Brett, good evening to you too, my man. Who's doing very well, brother. Greg's stuck on a work call right now. Gonna have to roll back or replay later. That's all good, man. Thank you for tuning in the beginning, and hopefully the work call is not too stressful. And look forward to tuning in back later on as well. And Double D again, brother. Welcome back. Hello to the Visionaries and Jay. Also, I'm not a visionary then. Okay, I see how it is. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well, my man. And that being said, let's get into the content first and foremost. So we can see Bitcoin right now down to $111,000, down roughly 1.56%. And we have seen on multiple occasions now where Bitcoin has been testing and rebounding off this level of support. So evidently quite a battle-tested level of support here around the 110K zone. So that's why Bitcoin's been holding on that. Hopefully it'll continue in this fashion, but again, there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now, so we cannot be so certain just yet. Welcome back, LB, bro, and you to Kryptoni, and equally you to Victor as well. Welcome back. Hope you're doing very, very well, all of you. So yeah, Bitcoin right now is not doing the best, again, off the back of the Trump and China tariff drama, which we'll get into in a short moment. Ethereum equally down 3.31%, down to $3,990. And again, still trading within this zone, which is to be expected. Ethereum is most likely going to continue in this fashion, but have to wait and see again how Trump and the markets react. And then in respect to the other assets that we talk about more so recently, Oxford down 3.24%, Ondu down 4.19%. Zbec had a massive rally earlier off the back of their recent announcement, being their listing, 23% rally, quite a big surge for Zbec, but understandably, as you see, textbook, buy the rumor, sell the news. The listing for Zbec happened about a few hours back now. It happened about 3 p.m. my time, so 5 hours back right now. I was watching the chart live time when it happened, and Zbec surged up just to the 0.005. And then, as you'd expect, once the listing went live, you saw a massive reversal, and Zbec's currently down, on according to my chart, 6.12%, and it's going to probably come back down to the zones down here, in all honesty. but Zbec did touch that support or resistance even here. So I'm expecting Zbec will continue to respect this wedge pattern, and therefore Zbec will probably end up finding support again, probably around here. It comes down further and continue trading here for the foreseeable future. Something that I'm keeping an eye on is the Swift migration, ICE20022. I think that'd be very, very big for Zbec, in all honesty, being an asset that does seem to have some semblance and ties and connection to ICE20022. So if that's the case and that happens, then I mean, that means the crossover for Zbec is around mid-November when the migration should be happening. So that could be a definitive move for Zbec, hopefully to the upside. But again, that is something we're going to discuss at a later moment. I'll make a video on that at another point as well. Zbec have been doing some good things though. You can see also here, they recently attended the Blockworks event, the Digital Asset Summit in London 2025, which in and of itself is a big deal. You know, you're having Zbec attending this event alongside innovators, institutions, and policymakers and regulators. They're helping guide these institutions into the regulations we need to be seeing for crypto going forward. So this is a big deal, and that's also one reason why I look towards Zbec as a potential speculative but promising reward asset in this fourth quarter that could do very, very well. Now, that being said, getting into Casper, which will be the bulk of this stream, I'm sure you all will appreciate that more so, being predominantly a Casper fan base, although it is trying to expand a bit. Casper right now, again, currently down 4.48%, valued at 0.057, so 5.7 cents. And again, it's textbook. Right now, Casper will probably continue trading within this zone until we get the definitive direction for me. I think Casper is more than likely going to push above this level of, well, right now Casper's formed this long standing wedge, as we can see. The long standing wedge here, which Casper right now had been trading between that for, you know, a long time. But due to the recent Black Swan, Ghost Swan, the recent events, Casper crashed, fell below that, but it did manage to find support at around the 0.055, so 5.5 cents. As a result, and after the alleviation we saw in the market with some reassuring FOMO with the belief that the trade war would be quickly concluded, which it seemed to be until it wasn't, Casper ended up making a little bit of a recovery, just touching off that level of support here around the 6.5, 6.7 zone. And of course, then the trade war FUD grew again, hence why Casper's now going down with the rest of the market, and is currently valued at 5.7 cents. So for me right now, I think you'll see Casper probably can, again, for me, and let's get the worst case scenario, Casper will probably still hold 5.5. Worst case for me is 5 cents down here. Casper will hold there. If we go lower than that, then we'll have to have another conversation about it when it happens. But for me, Casper will probably continue trading in this zone until a definitive move has been decided, and we get the adoption and the price going up, and then you'll see Casper break through that and then start rallying a lot higher. But again, we just got to play it by ear, wait and see. Don't be emotional, be logical. So we're going to look into what's happening in the market right now, and of course what's to look forward to as well. So as we can see, Trump has accused China of an economically hostile act for not buying US soybeans. And he said he's considering terminating business with China having to do with cooking oil and other elements of trade as retribution. So we're just getting, again, more disputes, more back and forth, trade war concerns. Again, nothing that is really favorable for these markets right now, which are, you know, it's not ideal, right? It's not ideal at all. And that's why we're seeing the markets correct in the manner they are right now. And according to the Coin Bureau here, markets under fire. The Wall Street Journal reports China is intentionally crashing the markets to gain leverage over Trump. So as we look into the article here, Chinese leader Xi Jinping thinks president will fold before launching new tariffs that would roil the market. So allegedly, China are crashing the markets purely because they believe that Trump's going to most likely pull back on his tariff claim before the November 1st deadline. So they're trying to basically put a lot of pressure on Trump to see if he'll hold his nerve or not. Now, we'll see what happens. We've got roughly 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks until that happens. In 2 weeks, we see the next FOMC meeting, which we should be seeing rate cuts. But while rate cuts are reassuring for the markets right now, as we can, I do think and fundamentally believe that macroeconomic news is so much more important for financial markets. The problem is, based on manipulation behavior from smart money and market makers and retail sentiment, they only care about price, they only care about headlines, they only care about Trump's tariffs, they only care about regulations, stuff that we've already talked about being distractions. Now, we can't do anything about that. We got to know, when I say don't be emotional, be logical, being logical also means playing on other people's emotions. Emotionally speaking, or logically speaking, I know people are going to dump when they hear tariff news because they're emotional. But at the same time, I also understand that what really matters in the long term are the macroeconomic developments, how the market looks, how the economy looks, having more rate cuts, turning from QT to QE. We already got confirmation of that recently from Jerome Powell. Should be happening sometime in, I think, January 2026. And equally, project developments as well also are much, much more important. But how it affects the short term, that's headline news. That's what's happening right now. So before we get into the big kind of next steps and stones, you see, we're going to show this interview later on. IMF, which is Kristalina Georgieva, her name, the managing director, is talking about how, fiat, we've got to accept reality, fiat money is now moving digital. That's a big deal. And we actually got this other interview here from the 15 billion asset manager, Bitwise, Matt Hogan here, who's basically saying that the adoption of crypto by institutions is very, very slow, but it's a freight train. Basically means it's unstoppable, and we'll see it go a lot faster as well. Very, very strong long-term bull market. We'll look at that in a moment as well. Before we do, let's get into the Casper content. First and foremost, probably one of the biggest news, or arguably biggest news. Nick Szabo, of course, a notorious, the notorious got accolades, the guy who created smart contracts. He's recently been in some ties and conversations regarding Casper, calling it a promising project based on block DAO protocols. And he is now apparently following Casper members' accounts, which people have fact-checked. It's this individual here, which I can check. Go to who his followers are, and if I type Nick, will I be able to find it? Let me see if I can find it. Let me type in his name first. So maybe he's not following him. I saw someone fact check it before the stream. Or because I have to scroll down or something. Or followers that you know. Okay, I do not see him following right. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, so following the followers that I know. So yeah, followers that I know. So it looks like he is actually following this guy, which is interesting. So Nick Szabo seems to be following some Casper members right now, which could be seen as a vote of confidence. Again, I wouldn't read too much into it, but we are seeing someone who is very well respected and renowned in the Bitcoin community, in the crypto space, starting to ever so slightly take a bit more of a step into Casper, which that could, if nurtured correctly and not done on a toxic mentality, it could end up having Nick Szabo being someone who might end up endorsing Casper in the future as a speculative thing. So that would be quite cool. But moving on anyways, one of the big announcements for the stream support comes from Flux, where they are a relatively, or to put it bluntly, they are a big company, 500,000 followers on Twitter right now, and they just announced that now they've got Casper public nodes that are now live on the Flux cloud marketplace. So Flux, you can basically, as I made a post on it recently myself, with Flux now you don't have to have any technical expertise whatsoever, none at all. You just literally need to sign up. That's all it is. So you can end up running a Casper node without any experience or any knowledge whatsoever. The information from here is Flux is offering to host 3 public nodes for $27.20 a month. This may be a good option for those who, for whatever reason, cannot run a node at home or are limited on resources. It's another very big step towards Casper adoption in that regard. And actually, running nodes, mining Casper, those things are very, very important to uphold the decentralization and security of the network. So this could end up being very beneficial for the future. Of course, I'd argue doing it by yourself is better, but if you haven't got the capabilities for that, you can go through Flux as an alternative. And we are seeing it here, case in point for Casper node growth. Pavel here, who is the co-founder of Igra Labs, he just said that he has just spun up 3 CasPads with Flux in seconds. So you can see all that stuff is working. smoothly, which is really, really good news. That is fantastic all in all, and that could end up definitely snowballing into more adoption for Casper, again, more decentralization, more security, and that would hopefully incentivize more investment into the project as well. But again, that's a long-term aspect. But we're seeing nodes going live all over the place, even now in elements in Australia as well. Like, we're getting it pretty much in every single continent now. There's been nodes running for Casper, so hopefully it continues in this fashion and starts hopefully getting out of control, seeing nodes all over the place. The whole worldwide map to looking just green dots everywhere. That'd be really, really cool. Next, moving on, we got some updates regarding the layer 2s for Casper, the smart contract updates. So the Casplex layer 2 is now being tracked under Gecko Thermal, which is pretty cool news. So again, it's getting more recognition, which we cannot be upset about. Hopefully it continues growing in this factor right now. Gecko Thermal has got 124,000 followers. They are relatively notable and respected DEX tracker. So hopefully to get into the more of the spotlight. Casper continues to grow more and more and more. And with respect to other announcements as well, we got the post here from Casper to go to Casper that they've now ascended to layer 2. It's now live on Casplex layer 2, which is pretty good, trading on Zeta swaps. So we're seeing more of the KYC 20 starting to expand and get involved. Which, if we had to look at the Casperlytics and looked at the Casplex layer 2 like transactions right now, I'd imagine they have probably fallen off a little bit. But we have a quick look. We can see we got currently almost 59,000 transactions. So, it's not anything crazy by any means, but it's still staying stable, if not slowly growing bit by bit. If you look at protocol activity over the last 7 days or so, we can see that Casplex has seen a total of 249,000, almost 250,000 in the last week, which is pretty much just under 50,000 a day. So it's holding steady right now. Hopefully we see it start growing more and more. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. We are still very, very early in that regard. We are seeing more projects coming online. That could be very, very good for it. And equally, stuff like this could be beneficial for it as well. As Band have now gone live on Casplex, which is also pretty cool. The official layer 2 built on Casper Unchained. Bringing decentralized data infrastructure to one of the fastest growing ecosystems in blockchain. Seem to be doing stuff with training AI engines, which I think is a very, very big deal. So Band and Casplex marks a major step in expanded decentralized data access. Casplex is Casper's official layer 2 built on high performance. In regards to Band, or introduced by Kasper Finance and Zeta Swaps, the first DeFi protocols on Casplex powered by Band data feeds. Fervent is a centralized trading and yield platform built for precision and security. It uses Band for liquid staking, swap mechanisms, and risk management. You can see how the integrations work here. Again, I'll leave the link to all this stuff down below, or more so, I'll leave it information, the links to it in my free Discord community in the Casper channel, to go check it out right there. You can see everything that Band seemingly trying to do, which is pretty good. And again, just adds more to the growing nature of Casper as well. So you can't complain about that sort of stuff. A nice little welcome message to them as well. And then some more updates for general Casper ecosystem developments before we get into the KFC request that I was given earlier. We've got Vivoor here, who is the streaming platform coming to Casper, the YouTube equivalent, if you will, who have now got a Halloween special update, introducing the Kasper NFT badge, where you can get unlock 6 months of free verification, a 600 CAS value, just by connecting your wallet owning the Kasper NFT. So it looks like Kasper NFT is, so they're also expanding more and more. And this is what I mean when I was saying that some of these KRC20 projects, the ones that really, really do well, the ones who are continuing to build more and more and more. If you look at KRC20, the projects that I know are building, naturally, they've got partnerships to IGRA, to parts within Casper.com, parts within Wolfie. They're very well connected. And Zealous as well, I'm pretty sure. I'm not so sure about PBCast or Caspi as of right now. I know Kango have got some things going on. Casper Ghost is now partnering with these other providers as well, to Vivoor, which if Vivoor does take off, which I think has all the permits to do so, that's fantastic. Also launching the Casplex as well, very, very good. I think while they are inherently just memes, or perceived as memes for the time being, memes and their longevity, memes have two, requirements for longevity. One is to just have a very, very strong community that just keeps it alive the whole time, but communities come and go. You really need a cult actually to keep a meme alive. Otherwise, what you need is some actual utility behind it to become a real world asset to then give the meme token some value, which is stuff like what Wolfie's done, for example, because they've got an actual restaurant behind their token. And that's why I prefer it, because I mean that's a real world asset therefore, and I prefer real world assets to memes anyways. But that's a big deal in regards to what they're doing here. So again, I'm looking forward to seeing what Vivoor's like more and more. The more they're developing right now. I do plan to definitely test them out at some point soon. And then one more update before we then get into some questions. Then come back full circle, some more Casper updates, some big ones here regarding the DRI, Desert Energy and KRI here. Got this post here, Wolfie's Bar. They are, of course, we should know and remember that in just 1 month or less than that now, in about 3 weeks, will be Casper's official 4th birthday. So Wolfie's Bar hosting November 8th in London at their restaurant. They're hosting, celebratory birthday for Casper's 4th birthday, which is really, really cool stuff. I am in 2 minds whether I can attend or not. I'm trying to see if my schedule's free for it, but I do hope to. I mean, yeah, honestly, the stuff we're seeing, this sort of stuff, while nothing major news, it's still really, really cool to see and understanding that, again, 4 years deep, Casper's a very, very early project. Most of these projects in this space are and have been out for a lot longer, and they're struggling as bad as Casper is. Of course, you may not see it that way because we're in a bubble for Casper and we see it a lot worse for Casper, but everything is struggling in their own, respective natures. In regards to how far they're off from all-time highs, everything is similarly down about 65-70% or so. Casper is in no different boat right now, down about 70% right now. But I guess there's other big updates coming very, very soon. Before I do though, Double D, yes, smash the like Hulk. Indeed, if you enjoy the streams, we try to do this stuff every single day. Leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. The markets are terrible right now based on tariff news and also government shutdown uncertainty, but I'm sure that will not be the case forever. That will change soon enough as well. Riley here, welcome back, man. You're doing very, very well. I heard them call out your comment on Sin City Cryptoni. I am unsure what comment you're referring to, but there you go. Cryptoni, you're getting more and more famous. Mr. Mars back again, brother. First, how do you do it? Honestly, you need to tell me because I have no idea how myself. Welcome back, Dung Knight. Towels pulling back a bit, but still strong. Capital community sentiment's feeling pretty low recently too. That's a buy signal, lol. Yeah, I mean, we can see right now, Towel. I do plan to make a video on it, probably either tomorrow or Friday or Saturday. We'll see. I'm planning to make one this week, but yeah, Towel saw obviously one of the best rallies since the market crash happened on Friday. Had a massive rally up 65%, which is insane stuff. Reaching that level of resistance here, which I drew this bar out a time ago actually, at 470. A very, very long time back. Evidently a very strong level of support and or resistance, and it rebounded off that. It's now currently down 7.68%. My belief on why Tower's dumping is mainly driven just because the investment they got from private investment for the treasury, that FOMO has come off now, and the market's down, so it's just coming back, reversing back to the price it probably should be at right now, which I imagine is probably around the zones we're coming to, but it is still looking strong. And I spoke about it in my stream yesterday why I think Tower is in a very, very strong spot as a project, and the video I'll make will give a more structured breakdown of why I believe it as well. Information that again I would cover to my VIP, so you get some more alpha insights in there as well. But I'll get to that later on as well. And then Casper, yes, Casper sentiment right now is at the really, really low point. People I'm seeing pretty much every single day now just saying Casper screwed me out of the cycle. I'm just going to leave right now. And I'm like, I get it completely. I completely do, of course. But when I take a step back and look at the market, everything's just terrible. So I get it. Casper has definitely screwed a lot of people out of the market, and it's frustrating. I don't disagree. It's been terrible for altcoins across the board. Frankly, anything that's actually pumped has been Bitcoin and ETH. Yeah, I've got some exceptions. Again, Hyperliquid's done okay, Pump's done okay, but pretty much everything has just been struggling as altcoins. But the problem is, again, because we're in a Casper bubble, we only see Casper. We think Casper's done really, really bad. I'm getting out, and that's fine. You've got to do what you've got to do. But when I take a step back, I see everything has been doing terribly for a long, long time. Everything. You've got some exceptions that have done okay, like Zbec more recently has done okay. Ondu has done okay a little bit recently. Holding, although it has come back quite significantly from this peak it made up here. You got, again, Sui. Sui was one of the strongest, and it still is strong, I'd argue. It's still going to do very, very well, but it's down about 50% now after the crash. Of course, Casper's done a lot more so right now, 70-odd%, 75% probably, give or take. Yeah, so I understand the sentiment being really low, but I tend to agree with you, Dung. I do think, yeah, I mean, this is where the bicycle starts flashing, the sentiment being at such a low point right now. right now it's actually got a strong sell signal, funnily enough, which is interesting. But I don't me personally, again, I'm not selling my Casper right now. I still think it's the strongest asset in the space. And when that institutional adoption comes in, I think you'll see Casper start to make some gains. And again, speaking of institutional adoption, you've got DRI Energy, right? So DRI Energy, of course, they are basically KRI as well. They're basically the same thing. And they've got confirmed speakers here. Across 2 full days of conference, DRI Energy Leadership Summit hosts several strategic discussions on scaling up low emission projects and networking opportunities regarding mainly the MENA region right here. And you can have a look at the agendas right now and see exactly who is speaking at the event. So it has the first, obviously, day one, which is going to take place, or day one, it highlights here, you know, you've got the stuff hanging here, and then you've got day one, and you've got day two, where you can see, if you scroll down to session 7 here, you got Casper Block DAG Technologies solving the blockchain dilemma. So Rory O'Neill is going to be speaking about Casper at this event happening, you know, in November time, like in the next few weeks, which is pretty big. And they even have following that someone else speaking regarding blockchain, Internet of Things, and emerging tech as well. Senior Managing Director and Global Market Leader, Oil and Gas Infrastructure Advisory. So you're seeing crypto being spoke about with DRI Energy, and Casper also being a named topic of conversation for them. That is further proof to me that KRI are actively, it's not a case of they're posting stuff just to, you know, feign ignorance or whatever. They're actively talking about Casper trying to use this technology. Again, a reason why I don't understand people call KRI a scam, because they're actively talking about it. How to implement technology into the regions they want to be, mainly right now, carbon emissions and the energy market. And that's what they're looking at right now. So this is, for me, quite big. Once the adoption comes through, Casper, I'm sure we'll see a lot more use case, demand, adoption, and that will rally the price as well. But move on real quick anyways, some more updates. I did get a request. I think it was from Nate Hart. Let me just double check real quick. It was from, I think it was from Nate Hart. It's from somebody. The name is in stream mode, so I can't see it. But someone asked me if I had mentioned KFC, Kasper Finance, to which I haven't given a much of an update on them because I haven't done too much of a deep dive in them. But I am doing one right here and now per community request. So again, if you want me to look through some stuff, you can just ask me and I'll do what I can. But KFC, you've got many DEX-like markets within Casper right now. Of course, you've got Casper.com, which actually strictly is not a DEX, but it kind of is a weird one from what my research told me. But Casper.com being a DEX, then the swap being the biggest DEX right now for Casper. You've got KRC doing their own way to get a hold of this stuff, but you also then got Kasper Finance being the fourth way to get a hold of or getting access to Casplex and whatnot here. So what is KFC? Well, this is what they provide here. KFC is the first version 3 DEX AMM on the Casplex mainnet Zbec EVM. You can also do it on the testnet for Igor as well. Now, what does that really mean? Well, I admit it does sound a little bit like just a kind of a nice looking buzzword. Version 3, the first version 3. What does that mean in comparison to what the alternative version 2 I'd imagine being? Version 3 is just like a way of trying to say you're a better DEX is pretty much what it is. You know, the evolution like version 1, version 2, version 3 is we're just kind of saying, yeah, we're the next level. And it's normally based on the certain AMM protocol used, from what I can tell. So from my understanding, it basically just means that you have a little bit more flexibility and freedom when utilizing liquidity pools and whatnot. And it has it's like a lot more it's much more, apparently it's a lot more, maybe user friendly is the right word, but it gives you as a user a lot more flexibility to do what you want, higher leverage fees, higher slippage fees, whatever it may be. That's my understanding of what the V3 part of the DEX means. But this is Kasper Finance. I'll play this video real quickly as well here, where you can hear the co-founder of Kasper Finance here, or the founder here, James Lee, talk at this the Token 2049 Singapore event, where you can see Bitcoin News, the one who posted this as well, which is pretty huge. So Kasper Finance here talking about the flagship DEX for Casper as well. So it's quite a big recognition there. So this could be big as well. So I asked you to listen very close to this interview.
Better technology. I'd like to say that. Yeah, well, we're marketed as the flagship DEX for Casper. There are other DEXs that have sort of launched in parallel. We feel that we're slightly superior because we're V3. A lot of those are V2. Not to, it adds a different layer of complexity to the build, but also cheaper and faster transactions overall. So yeah, it's better technology, but yeah.
Okay, so a decentralized exchange, but finance. So
yeah.
Could you,
I'll extrapolate on it. Yeah. So essentially, we are super DeFi protocol. So AMM DEX, like a Uniswap, and then we've got a farming and staking pool. So where people add liquidity to a DEX, say in a market pair, they can then farm that liquidity, and it gives them it adds a layer of stickiness to them, and keeps them on the platform. But it gives them another earning potential as well. So farming in that essence, and then I guess the finance side comes from the borrowing and lending protocol as well. So we've also got an Aave style V3 borrowing and lending protocol that we include in that suite of tools, and that'll be stood up shortly. So we're just in the final stages of testing that, and then we'll get it audited and then push it live. I think when you're locking up people's hard-earned crypto, you want to make sure that you've double audited or triple audited and tested it out and tried to break it before you sort of expand and release.
So there you have it. Quite interesting here from James. And again, just to highlight an interview here being reposted on Bitcoin.com news, which is a very, very big
I'd like to say that. Yeah, well,
pretty interesting stuff there in all honesty. So that is a bit more about Kasper Finance there and from the CEO himself. In regards to recent updates as well, they had a new pair recently where they've got Nacho now trading on their platform, and additionally, which is probably the biggest update for them as of late, they have their TGE, which is TGE stands for token generation event. I'm pretty sure the term is. It basically means that they're going to be launching their KFC token on November 14th. So that's next month. So, same way how Casper has their own token, Casplex have their own like Casper wrap kind of token as well. They were launching that O1 as well, which is a pretty big deal for them. So that is kind of in a nutshell what KFC is right now. There's not that much more to go into them. The basic understanding is that they're DEX, similarly to ZellaSwap and similarly to like the Casper.com as well. They're version 3, basically meaning that it should give users more flexibility and freedom to do what they want to do. And they're releasing their token next month. And they seem to have a lot of technical experience, to put it that way. So it could be quite a big DEX for the future for Casper. Right now, Zealous is quite comfortably in the lead. We'll see if KFC ends up catching up and surpassing that. We'll see what Casper.com could do as well. You've got to understand we're still very, very early days, and the DEX that we're seeing right now may not be the DEX for the future. You might see one take over in the future to be. So we can't necessarily be so hard strong on anything else just right now. Again, do your own research regarding anything in this regard and be careful what you invest into. But that's currently what KFC is about, to get to the question that was asked to me in that regards. Now, I'm going to get some questions real quickly before I get into some of the final posts regarding these updates here, and ultimately why the future outlook for crypto for me still looks very, very strong, and as well being Casper. But I guess a question real quickly. Coach to Catnap says, I swapped all my capital for leverage 1000x on gold. I mean, with the way the financial system is looking right now, in respect of dollar just falling off in value, markets crumbling, and everyone really, really fearing the risk off sentiments, they're all going towards, everyone really, really fearing the risk on sentiment, they're all going to risk off, all going to gold, is not unwise, although as we've seen with anything, leverage can be very, very dangerous. So, of course, not financial advice. You do what's right for you, coach. Gold has done fantastic recently. You can see all-time highs and rallying higher because, again, due to all the tariff concerns and whatnot and everything in the market, the sentiment's gone from risk off to No, sentiment's gone from risk on to risk off. Everyone right now is deleveraging, de-risking. That's why they're going to gold, that's why they're holding stablecoins right now. That sentiment may change in the coming weeks. I'm hoping it will do, but it's tough to say right now with this current back and forth kind of accelerating more between Trump and China. But I guess, yeah, if you're going to leverage on anything, gold might be the safest bet. But of course, again, do so at your own risk, because who knows what happens with gold or anything. What happens with leverage? Leverage is very, very risky. The mattress salesman is here. Yeah, I can see, and I see that Kryptoni is taken matters into his own hands, as he has been given his right to do so as a moderator. And honestly, something that I probably could and should have done a while back. You know, I have no problem for those who have distrust and frustration with Casper. Like, there are people in this community who do. I'm not going to name drop those who are frustrated with Casper but still believe in it, because, you know, I just understand they're frustrated with the price right now. And I'm more than happy to talk to people like that who are just, again, wanting to just give some negative or just constructive criticism about Casper. I get that, and I'm happy to talk about them just to see where they're coming from. But there are some people like the individual who's just been banned, who just comes in frequently enough just to spread hate just because, I don't know, got nothing better to do. It's what it is. Yeah, that's all I can say to that, really. And yeah, I don't think Casper will be dead in 2 months either, but we'll have to wait and see where it'll be, but I don't think it'll be dead by no means. Yeah, it's kind of, people have got their own fetishes, I guess, their own kinks. That's all I can say to that. Casper has not shown any strength in a long, long time. What's that say? No asset has showed strength in a long, long time, and it depends on what you clarify as strength. Because I'd argue that this was strength. I'd argue that this was strength for 10 BPS and Kraken. So that is May then. So that May, June, July, August, September, October, that's 5 months. Depends. If you're saying strength and then going to an all-time highs, then nothing has showed that much strength. Nothing. Casper showed strength here from April to May. It was actually during April to May after Liberation Day, Casper one of the actual best performing assets in that time. That was 5 months ago. Casper was one of the best performing. It was surpassing what Sue was doing and what Say was doing. It was only just been outdone by what Hyperliquid was doing at that time. And Hyperliquid was going parabolic around here. So that's only 5 months. And if you're talking about hasn't gone past all-time highs, then my rebuttal to that is, well, projects have been down for 4 years. Haven't gone past all-time highs. So again, pick your battles. Not everyone can see on the horizon precisely right. Welcome back, Wyatt, but you're doing very, very well, my man. Welcome back to stream, my man. Gold again, it's, anything with leverage is very, very risky. Welcome, Hanny. I would be very happy to see Casper reach 30 cents. It's still possible. I mean, again, we haven't seen altcoins rally remotely yet. We haven't seen an altcoin cycle right now, which we are still expecting one. You should still expect one. I don't see why we wouldn't get one right now. And if that's the case right now, the longer this current lull takes, the more chance that altcoin cycle will happen more so in 2026. So I have to wait and see. It will hand the opportunity of a lifetime buying this up at 5 cents, honestly. I mean, there you go. Now, if you want to do that now, that's perfectly fine. 4 cents as well. I mean, I'd be surprised if it goes back down there again, but hey, I've been wrong multiple times before. And I haven't got crystal ball, so I'll probably be wrong again at some point. Based on the technical factors right now on the market chart, Casper should not retrace below 5 cents. This here is an anomaly, so I don't consider or count this really. But this here is where the market structure came back a little bit and is holding strong around this zone. So Casper should not go below there. It's held there numerous times. It was before its massive rally all the way back back in 2023. So I don't expect Casper to go below that. But again, if Bitcoin goes more further down, then who knows where Casper will show strength. Yeah, again, but I mean, that's also the biggest issue. People are comparing one to another, comparing apple and oranges. It just doesn't work. There's the reason why I don't try to compare Casper with other projects. Like, the comparison is always in respect to price. And I'm like, well, every price has, again, I've mentioned the post. I've got the post I mentioned the post to my VIPs, and I showcased the post, I made a tweet about it even, about what institutions were telling their clients. which is, it sounds kind of like a backhand thing to do because like you want price to be good, you want to make money, but institutions are saying focus on utility, price lags utility. They're saying this is what retail focuses on. They only focus on these surface level distractions being price and regulatory implications. That's all they focus on. What they're doing with their clients is looking deeper, understanding what's being built and the industry that will come with it. So Casper's price is, for me, nothing more than a distraction. Doesn't mean I'm going to ignore it. I still pay attention so I can look into the short term and understand how to DCA, find the right price to DCA at. But otherwise, Casper, I'm not worried about it still. Below 0.2, yeah, below 20 cents is a blessing, 100%. Will the miners abandon Casper when it reaches 0.001 cents in the bear market? We have no confirmation Casper will go down that low in the bear market for one. In theory, if it does do that, most likely, because if the Casper's that low in value, the miners are making no money whatsoever. So they have no incentive, therefore, to mine Casper. So in theory, yes, but there's no guarantee it will go down that low. Because of course, market makers will, do as they will do. But if market makers, the likes of Uphold, the likes of Binance, who've been talking to Casper for a very, very long time, if they do truly believe in Casper's technology, which they seem to, they do truly believe in it, they won't want to kill the project. They want to make it really, really hard for you to hold it until they're ready to end up making money off it. But they won't want to kill the project. And even then, I think Casper's, as Tony's mentioned in the past, Casper's energy has been mined. It's feasibly impossible for Casper to be killed. So, we have to wait and see. Tau has great tokenomics. Yeah, Tau's done fantastic and it's got a good project behind it. I did mention that. And also how it can correlate and relate to institutional sentiment as well. I'll make a video on that this week so you can see what I'm talking about again, but I mentioned it yesterday. Some alpha documentation about it. And yeah, I'm confident that Tau could do quite great. Yeah, I'm also be very surprised if it'll go that low. I don't see how it could. Institutions may not want us to make any money, just a thought. Yes, what I'm saying. But for me, Casper might go low and it might scare a lot of people because market makers are trying to send the price down. Because they know, because again, you've got Uphold, who've been endorsing Casper for a very, very long time. You've got Binance, who've been talking to Casper since 2023 December and have been talking to the tech team, so-called, for a very, very long time. OKX is working alongside KF, or they are a venture of it, so they can help Casper as well. You've got so many, and you've got Marathon also mining Casper as well. You've got so many big names and big arms who have an idea of Casper, while maybe not as much as we expect or believe, enough to, of those people who, if they do truly understand the technology about Casper, like the KI seem to do, they want to kill the project. Why would they? They want to make it hard for you to hold it. The same way how it was hard to hold Bitcoin in the early days and Litecoin in the early days, and Ethereum, and all these projects that had their own struggles. Casper's going through its own struggle right now. It's just none of us have really ever been into a project this early and then had our convictions really, really tested. That's what it is, really. CMC at the buy signal. There you go. Okay, so trading view says sell signal, CMC at the buy signal. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's just a lack of understanding, which is fine. Everyone is ignorant to their own regard. I mean, how I am. I'm ignorant in my own regard. That's why I continue trying to do more and more research. That's the stuff I try to share with my VIPs. Information, alpha documentation, premium insights with my VIPs, documentation like this, and much, much more. So we are better informed about what institutions are talking about, and therefore we can allocate our bags accordingly. That's why I've been looking a lot into real world assets recently, because right now institutions, their whole focus seems to be on real world assets, which means like Zbec, like Omdu, like I don't know, you got HBAR as well. There are many, many more. Of course, I did cover some, and I got a document, a Google Doc in my VIP server where you can check my top 5 that in this cycle and what I believe is good for. There's even one that I think arguably better than Zbec as well, that I've put in there as well. If you want to find that stuff out, then again, check out the VIP, and also, potential picks. Of course, do your own research by potential coin picks, premium insights, trade alerts, and much more. We just closed a position actually. I think chart flows just closed a position, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. Yeah, close out this position here. So yeah, nice little gain on Pepe there as well. So yeah, you want to find out more stuff out, then again, check out the VIP. Information's down below in the description. And yeah, you can come check that out. You can learn a lot more in there. On my money, anything if it isn't fair launched, and many proof of works have a pre-mine. Yeah, I mean, Casper again is unique in that regard. When our turn comes, and it will come, the pleasure. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. I've spoken to some people in my community who are like, I'm petty. Well, I'm speaking from there, that people in my community will be like, I'm so petty that when Casper does do well, I'm going to just rub it in everyone's face. Me, myself, I'm not going to, because I try to, I say try to, I understand that I will have my moments, but I try to present a humble origin. I mean, I would argue that I am. I don't try to belittle people in any way, so I wouldn't ever want to, you know, rub it in anybody's faces, but I would feel internally a sense of gratification and, you know, glee when capital returns, and those who faded it, of course, are then questioning how I knew, like it was really a question for us. The tech does always win. Yeah, the better tech, CD to USBs, you know, a campfire to a lighter to a light bulb. You know, there's always an evolution step. Casper's evolution step into crypto. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll get another Casper node set up in Australia. Well, good stuff, Wyatt. Good stuff indeed. Is that you there then? Is that you there? Because apparently there's one in Western Australia right now. Just went green. That must be you then, surely. Yeah, pretty much. Couldn't say it better. Is it complicated to set up a node? Was it Intel? I'm not too sure. Of course, there are people like Cryptony and other Tony in my community who probably have a better idea, so you could ask them and they'll set you up easily. It's just for those who haven't got the finances or technical expertise, whatever it may entail, to do stuff like this. So you can just go with Flux instead. Maybe, Hanny. We have to wait and see. I'm still optimistic for Casper still. We haven't seen a run yet, and we don't know when the next cycle is. People still fundamentally believe the cycle's going to end in December or this year. We have no confirmation. Historically speaking, yes, it ends in the next 2-3 months or next 1-2 months, but we are in a different macro cycle. It's a 5-year cycle, quite seemingly. Which, if that is the case, and the markets follow macro as opposed to the 4-year cycle, then we have got almost another year ahead of us. And then think what Casper could do in a year with Dagon at that point coming out, VBooks coming out, with KRI getting more CFTC regulated exchange partnerships and whatnot as well. We've got so much more to come out. Yeah, also got Casper Silver's where he's got some videos on how to set up a node as well, so you've got that stuff there as well. And yeah, there's Cryptonia again shouting out all of the social links, the affiliate link to BYDFI. Definitely check that one out. They've got a 30% deposit cashback going on right now. The Discord server, the VIP, definitely check that one out. You can learn a lot more premium insights in there. And of course, me on Twitter. 100% check them all out. Will your TAL video include subnet info too? I will do my best, Dung. I cannot confirm it will do. I have an idea of what it will cover. It will cover the recent development for TAL, why it rallied, and then also institutional documentation that would support TAL being a great project to get into. It will cover some stuff regarding the subnet, so it may not be in depth subnet info, but it will cover some stuff regarding that. If you go onto TAL's website, you can literally click on their GitHub or Discord and find everything about it in there as well. But I'll try and create some information about it for you, Dung. Yeah, I know Nadehart is the notorious Casper hater now. Like the what's the name? Nick 6M or whatever. He just constantly spreading Casper hate. Honestly, I appreciate it though. Welcome back, Andy, bro. 300 Casper, very huge indeed. Thank you very much, and congrats, brother. Keep stacking that bag, looking very, very big indeed, man. Absolute legend there. Casper's code, unfortunately, look at the chart, is most likely going to break that support. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, who knows? It depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin finds support like it is right now here and doesn't go below here, then Casper will probably do the same thing. You know, there's no guarantee. You know, right now Casper is down to 0.0757, down 6%. You might wake up tomorrow and see Casper's going up again. This has been a critical level support for Casper. I think Casper's strongest support is here at 5.
That for me is the strongest one, but 5.7 is the one it's normally been holding. But 5 is where like you saw it come down to 5 here. So 5 is where like if it goes below 5, then I'll be like, okay, that could be maybe a bit worrying. But otherwise, I think 5.55, this area here, I'll draw a box actually. It's probably better if I draw a box. This for me is what I'm looking at for Casper. As long as it holds there, I'm perfectly content. And if we're going into a bear market, then yes, it's short. If we're not going to a bear market, then maybe not short. We don't know yet. I buy Casper every day. Big stuff, White, man. Love to hear that. Money a bit tight now. I got a car for 7k a while ago. Hey, Andy, man, you've still been stacking Casper frequently, so you know that it's still looking very, very good. Money a bit tight now. I think we're all feeling the burn a little bit right now, but hopefully we'll be hopefully we'll be fine soon enough. I've been saying that so much recently because it's just been such an unpredictable market. But clarity is starting to come through a bit more now in respect of where we currently are positioned right now. The trade wars are always a bit of a red herring, but hopefully that can be concluded very, very soon. And yeah, also very true that auto for Casper is stronger than anything else as well. Yeah, precisely there. Jay will do humble streams in his yacht in Florida. Maybe once I make it, I'll go have a yacht and I'll just be, at that point I'll be face cam as well, so you'd see it. The audio quality would be terrible on a yacht though, so I don't know if I could do that. Well, actually, if it wasn't moving, the yacht was stationary, it'd probably be fine. I don't know. That's a dreamland there. I mean, yes, but that may be different. And I mean, again, that's typically how it goes, but we have no guarantee it's happening. We've got to remember, Solex, as well, Bitcoin maximalists who only care for Bitcoin, many of them start looking at Casper. So when Bitcoin dominance falls off, they may start rotating into Casper. And they may decide to rotate back into Bitcoin, but they'll hold some Casper bag because they believe more so in the project for its fundamentals. Bitcoin maxis hate everything besides Bitcoin, but some are actually looking at Casper now. And you've got people like Nick Szabo, who's also starting to look a little more into Casper as well. Vinci Jeremy holding a big bag of Casper. So historically speaking, yes, you're right, but at the same time, this is also different for Casper because it has other benefits that other projects don't have, like the alignment to Bitcoin in the truest way, being proof of work, fair launch. It should happen, Stella. We'll have to wait and see. I hope so as well. I still very optimistic it can do. You know, from this competition right now, that would only be a 2.5x or so, 2 and a bit x. I don't think that's. I think that's quite comfortable for Casper, honestly. But yeah, as we are, anything can help. But I just think hope is clouding your judgment. It's more so research as opposed to hope. But if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. We can agree to disagree. That's perfectly fine. All I know is that Bitcoin maximalists hate everything in the space, but you have been seeing increasingly bit by bit some look towards Casper, which is the first time ever really in history, or properly. So I think that's quite a big thing as well. I mean, yeah, the counter argument could be there as well. I mean, again, we can agree to disagree. That's perfectly fine by me. And to wrap up the stream, I'll play these two interviews here. One from the IMF, Christina Georgieva, talking about the big shift happening right now, which is why, despite the market correction in the price, long term looks perfectly fine. Which is her saying we've got to accept reality that fiat money is moving digital. So we can listen here.
Them to embrace it.
I'm telling countries, accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. The developments in crypto, both unbacked and backed, they're happening with exponential speed. So yeah, you can try to lock your country away from this. Good luck with it. So yes, I'm telling my members, understand it and then decide for yourself how you're going to operate in this world. But do not close your eyes to reality.
But generally, you tell them to.
So that's that one from the IMF there. And again, they're one of the world leading institutions. So what they say holds a lot of weight and significance. And they're saying we need to accept reality that everything, money is going to be moving digital. That's the future for us. So despite, again, the lackluster price action, the future is still very, very clear, very telegraphed. And then the next one here is probably the most important one for us right now, from the $15 billion asset manager Bitwise. Matt Hogan here talks about this being a real bull story for crypto. We are in slow adoption, but it's a freight train, unstoppable. And that's what they think to their institutional investments, that this has got a long-term bull market view here, which is very big. So again, listen very closely here.
But it's a very strong.
What's on the horizon? Maybe some government, maybe finally getting some domestic regulation or clarity on what it's going to look like. Is that what's next for Bitcoin?
So for a short-term catalyst, for sure, progress on the Clarity Act in Congress, if we see that, if the government reopens, would be positive for crypto. But the real bull story for crypto is just the slow-moving freight train of institutional investment. I've probably done a half dozen meetings with institutional investors and financial advisors over the last 2 days. None of them talked about what happened over the weekend. None of them talked about the liquidations Meltem talked about. They talked about this need to get exposure to crypto. They're currently on 0. They're going to 5%. That's the big story. It's a slow-moving bull market, but it's a very strong long-term bull market from my view.
What's on the horizon? Maybe some government.
So there, again, very, very, very good insight there. Again, institutional insight into the current stage where we're at, in the sense of that while the adoption, we've been told time and time again, 200k Bitcoin, $10 Casper, we have been definitely bought into this FOMO narrative. And of course, those are still possible. I can't say it's not possible, but we've all been sold a lot of FOMO narratives, Hut and Moonboy narratives based on KOLs, based on institutions as well. The point being is that the actual part that matters, again, cycling back to this, is price is a distraction. Still important, of course, we want to make money, but it's a distraction. What really matters is what is being built. It's a slow-moving freight train. Right now, everything is slowly but surely coming digital. So don't be emotional. Think logically. If you want to find out more, come check out the VIP. You can learn a lot more insights in there. Again, we are still actually making gains in this market despite the negative sentiment, but we're trying to do what we're trying to do. We're finding good projects to DTA into right now. Again, like Zbec and Omdu and some others. All information down below in the description. Check out the VIP. I don't care for traders only invested in top projects like Casper, to be honest. Even my bro trades. I mean, everyone trades, right? Everyone has success, everyone fails. I don't know what qualifies you to be a pro trader, unless you've got an actual license to trade. I don't know what makes you a pro trader besides just doing it a lot. Like, I could therefore be a pro trader technically, but it is what it is. I'm not going to gloss on that fact either way. That being said, family, if you enjoyed the stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Check out the links down below in the description to BYDFI, no KYC exchange, to the free Discord server just to chill chat and learn more, or the VIP to level up your game as well. So yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like. That being said, have a great day, good evening, good night, family, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care now.